Hey everybody, it's Terry from Smoky Mountain Hiking YouTube channel, and today we're going to be hiking the Sunkota Ridge Trail, and I'm here with Gwen, and we're going to be going 8.8 miles. It's a beautiful March day in 2019. I'd say it's probably 45 degrees. To get to the trail, we hiked 4.6 miles down the down the Thomas Divide Trail. We'll end in 8.8 miles at the Loop Trail, which will take Stone Pile Gap and then the end of the Thomas Divide Trail to get out. So we're looking at about 16 miles today, a little over 16 miles. But I know I haven't seen a lot of videos on the Sunkota Trail, so I wanted to shoot one to kind of show you what to expect when you hike it for your 900 miles. Pretty.
Which blooms first, the rhodo or the mountain laurel?
I think it all depends on your altitude. I don't know how representative this would be of a summer hike through here because it's pretty early in March, like maybe March 12th today. So there's not much growth. In fact, there's very little growth. But I've seen a couple places on Thomas Divide where it would be overgrown with briars. But so far on Sunkota Ridge, I haven't really seen anything that looks like it'd be overgrown. We're walking through a section now where the trail's kind of eroded off the side quite a bit. Now it's not too bad through here, but back behind us I didn't videotape it. I probably should have. It was quite a bit worse than this. The trail was maybe 6 to 8 inches wide and really eroding off the side. It's a little bit better here, but just to give you an idea what you're going to face along this section, and we're less than a mile in right now. We're going through a section now that once the growth starts to come back would probably be pretty overgrown with briars. And again, we're maybe 8 or 9 tenths in from Thomas Divide, so you know what to expect. We've walked about a mile so far, and it really hasn't changed. The topography hasn't changed much from what you have right here. I'd say that 2/10 of a mile in, we had a little climb, maybe 40 to 60 feet, not real steep, but it's been relatively flat. Just a couple of 20s up and down, nothing major. And this probably wouldn't be too bad through here. I can see a few some of the brush, the briars off to the side here that would maybe make it up to the trail. But we're right at a mile with 7.8 to go. We'll take a little break at Martin's Gap and eat a little bit. We're about a mile and a third in. Really peaceful. Like Gwen said, though, there's an airplane flying over us. But this valley looks so amazing. So far the trail seems to repeat this pattern of walking along the edge of the mountain, where it's kind of steep. Come around a corner, walk along some more where it's steep, walk across the spine, and then repeat that process. It's been pretty easy going though on this trail. A lot of briar right here. We're at 1.7 miles now on the Sunkota Ridge Trail, and the topography has really started to change a lot. We're into a lot more mountain laurel and rhododendron. Now along the side of the trail I'm seeing a lot more briar. So like I said, we're in March, so really not that much of that kind of vegetation, but if you were in here in the spring, summer, or early fall, I don't imagine the briars would be too pleasant. But this has just been beautiful today. Early March 2019. Okay, we're at 2.6 miles now, and the trail is going to go into a small gap over here, and then I'll try and see if I can get it through the weeds over there. But yeah, you can see it. And we're going to climb back up that way. We're just on the other side of Deep Creek, and we could hear it in the woods earlier. I can kind of hear it off to the right side now. But we're about halfway to Martin's Gap, and I just want to kind of show you what the trail and the land look like through here. Okay, we're about 3 1/3 miles in now. So far it's just been beautiful hiking. We're walking along a spine right now. Deep Creek on our right, Indian Creek on our left, and we're about 1 2/3 miles from Martin's Gap. We're at 3 1/2 miles, and this would be your first source for water. There's really not very much running here, and I would imagine in the summertime this would be dry, but you could filter some water here, you know, in the wintertime or very early spring. This is at 3 1/2 miles from Thomas Divide, or 8 miles from Newfound Gap Road. Alright, we're at 4 miles now, and it's changed just a little bit. We got a little bit of rhodo through here. The trail's pretty narrow, a lot of roots. Pretty area through here though. I wouldn't want to slip. Lots of rhodo to catch on the way down though. Alright, we're 4.2 miles now, and this looks like probably your best source for water so far. It's running pretty good. It wouldn't take too long to filter water here. I'm not sure how good this would be in the summer again, but right now it doesn't look too bad. And you're probably 6/10 of a mile from Martin's Gap. We're at Martin's Gap now. We've come, it's hard to see, but 4.9 miles since the Thomas Divide Trail. We're going to sit here and have a little lunch break. We got 3.8 miles to go to the Loop Trail. We're on the Sunkota Ridge Trail. We started at Newfound Gap about 9.6 miles ago. There's your trail sign for Martin's Gap. A little bit of a lunch break. All good. While we were sitting here eating lunch, the rain moved in. So I was going to record this. We're going to immediately start a about a 350 to 400 foot climb, and we've got 3.8 miles to go to the Loop Trail, but we're going to probably slow down a little bit since we're both wearing rain gear. It's going to be pretty hot. Anyways, I'll check in probably after we finish the climb. We're climbing almost to the top of this. I don't know if it's the 350, 400 feet, something like that, but it's been raining, so it's pretty slick too. But we're almost to the top. I just wanted to show you what you're looking at here. All right, we topped out 8/10 of a mile from Martin's Gap. I don't have an altimeter, so I'm not sure exactly how far we climbed, but the REI hiking project app shows it at about 375. That feels about right. So this is what it looks like. Topping out. Now it's downhill the rest of the way to the Loop Trail. I think maybe one little climb. Looks like there's been a hog working through here. Still raining. We've been walking 1.3 miles now to the south from Martin's Gap Trail on the Sunkota Ridge Trail, and to our west is the Nolan Divide, and down below us is Deep Creek, and then to our left or to the east is Thomas Divide, and then below that in the valley will be Indian Creek. So rain's letting up a little bit. It's just a light rain now, so maybe we'll be able to pull off our rain gear before too long, cool off a little bit. I wanted to check in. We had a nice view along this ridge, about 1.3 miles from Martin's Gap. We're 2.1 miles from Martin's Gap. Still raining, and just trying to show this section of the trail wide open. Of course, in the summertime these trees will all be leafed out, but just a beautiful valley here. You see Thomas Divide back to our east. Sunkota Ridge just above us. And Gwen's watch is a low power.
Bad news.
We're 2.4 miles from Martin's Gap, and just wanted to zoom in on this valley below us. It's just so beautiful. We're only about 1.1 miles from the loop trail. It's pretty soggy, so it's kind of slow going. Got about 1 mile now to the loop trail. Just a touch over 1 mile. Still raining. Trail's been fantastic. Sunkota Trail's a big winner.
I'm going this way.
We're 3/4 of a mile now from the loop trail, and you can hear Deep Creek off our right side. I'd say we're probably 1/4 to a 1/2 mile above it. So we're walking along the right hand side now of Sunkota Ridge, the western side of it as you go south. Still raining. It's been a great trail. We're making pretty good time, even with it being slick from the rain. I think somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.2 miles an hour. We got about 1/4 of a mile to go now until we get to the intersection with the loop trail. And I've been really happy with this trail. It's been a great trail. I don't know that you would enjoy it so much in the summer. In fact, I've read reviews from some of my friends that did it in the summer, and they talked about briars and how bad it was. And I'm pretty sure that 2 of them saw a rattlesnake on here. But in the wintertime, like it's late winter now, I don't know, maybe March 12th I think or something like that. It's just a great hike. It's been kind of a cool rain for the last hour to 1.5 hours, and but it's really been enjoyable. So we're at 8.8 miles now since we left Thomas Divide. So we should be at the end of the trail. Right there's a trailhead sign. So we're going to drop off the loop trail here to the left. You can go out Stone Pile Gap and back on Thomas Divide to the gravel road at the bottom. But you could take the loop trail this way and end up on the Deep Creek Trail. Take it back to Deep Creek. It says 8.6 to Thomas Divide. 1/2 mile to Deep Creek, 7/10 to Indian Creek. That's the way we're going to go. What are your, how do you feel about the trail?
Awesome.
It was a great trail,
It was
wasn't
a great trail. Great day.
Great trail. So that was Sunkota Trail. So if you're doing your 900 miles, you're going to be doing that. Great trail. If you can, I would do it in the winter. You won't need as much water. There really only saw 2 water sources anyway. And you know, even though we had a rain, it's still fairly cool today, and it's a nice hike. Thanks for watching.